We'll record this bad boy. Good morning, everyone. It is 11:03 Central Standard Time, and my name is Chris Schweda from New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm excited for you guys. Because if you are in a position where you want to basically take your life to the next level, you definitely have a vehicle to do it. Let me figure out how to mute everyone. We definitely have some naughty unmuters, some little background noises and all of that. Again, whenever we do any kind of live like this in this business, we've been fortunate enough to be able to build a lot of our business from the comfort of our home or wherever we are, because we can build our business from right here, which means we could do it anywhere, which means we also jump on a lot of Zooms, which means when we're on a Zoom, we want to be cognizant of if we're unmuted or not, because being an audio unmuter can definitely cause some distractions, not only for the host, but for the other people. And there are times when, say if the host is on a cell phone and it's hard for them to go mute people out. And so as a courtesy, we always want to be looking at our phone and make sure that we have it set up that we are on mute. With that being said, guys, we are going to get started. And it's funny, my wife's gone, what are you going to talk about? What are you going to train on? And I'm like, if I remember correctly, this is a getting started training, right? So it's about getting started. And whether you're getting started in the business as a brand new promoter, or you're getting started in the business that you've already been in for a while, but you haven't necessarily got started, we're going to address all those different avenues and how to go out there and grow a business. And no, you don't have to have amazing hair like me. No, it's not necessary, but it helps. No, I'm joking. I just have to make jokes about myself because my hair is always jacked up and messed up. And what I love about this business is you get to do this while being yourself. So with that, I'm going to go over 2 rules that we have in the business. So we do have 2 rules. Now I know that people don't like rules, especially if you're a rule breaker like myself. And most of us that are participating in the free enterprise system are rule breakers. And we don't want other people to tell us what to do. And that's why we love the idea of being able to work from home and create our own income in our own business, working from the comfort of our home. But we do have 2 rules in our business. Number 1 is be normal, which means don't be some weirdo that all of a sudden gets started in a business. And the next thing you know, your friends are going, he joined one of them there cults, because you act like a weirdo. Because you get started in the business and all of a sudden you start trying to sell people and convince people, and you go into all this weird stuff. Nobody wants to be sold, but can we agree? We all love to buy stuff. I mean, people love buying stuff. And it's crazy. Like, we'll go shopping. How many of us have gone to the grocery? Oh, my brother. Hey, I'm on a call. I'll call you back, buddy. All right. Love you, brother. Bye-bye. My brother, I called him earlier and he's like, I'll call you back. And he keeps calling me and I'm sending a voicemail. So with that, how many of us have been shopping at the mall, right? And we're looking around and somebody comes up and says, can I help you? And then we go, oh, no, I'm okay. And, it's like we're going in there to go buy stuff, but then we don't want help because we don't want to be sold. And people don't like being sold, but they love buying stuff. It's crazy. Even some people go looking for cars, and then the car salesman will come up and they're like, oh, just looking. But the bottom line is to really get in the cars and see, you need someone to help you out and basically share with you the benefits of the car. And one, you need the keys to get in the car. So the same thing is true with our business. And we're just going to share little things that gives people the information that they need so they can make a buying decision versus us trying to sell them. So rule number 1 is be what? Be normal. Like, if your friends think that you all of a sudden are weird and you're like acting like, again, like you're in a cult, like that's not normal. So rule number 1 is be normal. Be yourself. Rule number 2. Oh, this is going to be a hard one for some of y'all. Oh, it's going to be so hard. You got to have fun. You have to have fun. So, we get started in this business and then we start talking about all the hard stuff we have to do and all that. Why would anybody be attracted to something that's not fun? Can we agree? Many of us already have jobs or something else that we do that might not be fun. Why in the world would you want to do something else on the side that's not fun? Like nobody wants to do stuff that's not fun, especially my personality style. Like, we have different personalities and some of us have multiple personalities, but we all have all the different colors. And when I'm saying multiple personalities, I'm saying it as a joke, but we do have that personality of what we want people to see on Facebook and then the personality that your spouse has to deal with. 2 totally different personalities, right? So with that being said, what we want to do is recognize that everyone's different and talk to them from their personality and their learning style. And I'm going to go into this, but not into it. We're not going to go into a whole bunch of detail, but can we agree that certain things drive certain people? For instance, when you're talking to someone and they just start talking about how much they want to help people, change people's lives and impact other people, what we call that is a yellow personality style. Yellow personality styles aren't as aggressive. They're amiable relators, which means they will do whatever they can to avoid controversy, but they do it because they want to have an impact. They want to help others. And if you're talking all about the money, oh my God, you can get started, make so much money, blah, 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 money, you are turning that person off. Then you have the red, who would be the person that is more direct. They're more aggressive. They're normally a visual. They speak faster. They like to control things. And basically, the red is driven by money. They're like, show me the money. If it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. They want to know about the money and how to they're going to be asking comp plan questions and how do you get paid and all that stuff. And guys, when I'm saying be normal, if all of a sudden your friends know you, like, just think about it. Growing up, you're, shooting water balloons out of the water balloon cannon or the slingshot at other people, or you're rolling toilet paper, rolling somebody's house with these people. And like, they know you as the person of all the things that you've done that you don't want people to know about. They know you as all that. And all of a sudden you're an expert on Happy Coffee and you're explaining nootropics and you're explaining the science and all that stuff. That's not normal. That's weird, right? So you want to be normal in sharing that. And we're going to go how to do that. But with that, if they're asking about the comp plan, it's pretty simple. You do stuff, you get paid. You don't do stuff, you don't get paid. That's the comp plan. And that's what you need to know. And everyone can learn that. And everyone, hey, well, how does it work? It's pretty simple. You share with people, they order, you get paid every month that they order. They share it with other people, you get paid on that too. Extra money. You like extra money? Yeah, that's how it works. You do stuff, you get paid. You don't do stuff, you don't get paid. You don't have to understand the comp plan. And if you then start explaining all this stuff and, well, on your 5th level and whatever, then they're going to be saying stuff like, is that one of them there pyramid things? And they're going to be saying stuff. So guys, you won't get those things if you're not saying weird stuff. Like, I never, ever, ever have that question asked, ever. Will someone say, is this one of those things? Or is this, I never get that because I don't talk that much. I tell stories. So a red wants to know a little bit more. They want to know how the money works. That's what drives them. Then you have the blues. Blues are about fun. They love fun. They love adventure. They love traveling. They love all that stuff. They're not very organized, but they love the idea. They love the idea of, being able to make money working from home or on the boat or wherever I am. I can make money. Oh, you got to be kidding me. That's fun. High fives. They love that kind of stuff. So then last are the detail people. They're the greens. Now, some of y'all might have heard different personality styles, and they talk about summer, winter, fall, and all that stuff. I don't really know from that perspective. I know the fish. You got sharks that are reds, you got the dolphins are blues, you got the whales are yellows, and you have the greens and the sea urchins, right? But it doesn't really matter. It's just a matter of paying attention to what style people are, right? So because you want to talk to people from their personality style. So if I'm talking to a blue, as I'm sharing my approach is always the same, but it's always different. And so many people, when we do things like this, they want to know, basically, they want to know exactly what to say. And I'm going to give y'all exactly what to say, but I've sat down with people. We had a naughty unmuter. I've sat down with people and literally said, say this, and I'll go over it with them multiple times. This is what I want you to say. And then they get on the phone and they say something totally different. It's crazy. Like I'm like, where did you get that from? Like, where did that come out of my mouth? And guys, this really is so ridiculously simple. And there's things that I say and there's reasons why we say it. And you will hear, for the most part, the entire company is saying very similar things. And what I will tell you about our company versus most companies, we have more of a solid message between all the different sponsorship lines of the company. No matter whose team you're on, everyone's saying pretty much the same thing. And that's not something that's normal. And the reason why that's so great is because that means it doesn't matter whose team you're in. It doesn't matter when you get started, how you got started. If your person is, if you just plug in to someone in the company, you're pretty much, we have a naughty unmuter that's unmuted themselves twice on accident. So pay attention, guys. If you're in a position where your phone can accidentally press the button, please watch it. So with that being said, guys, it's pretty simple stuff. So rule number 1 is be normal. Rule number 2 is what? Got to have fun. So if we're paying attention to who we're talking to, we create a game. And some of y'all go, well, I don't really understand all the personalities. You don't need to understand the personalities. You don't have to know what color's which. You don't have to know all that stuff. But what you have to know is common sense. And if somebody is talking about helping people, don't talk all about the money. You don't have to understand the color to not talk about stuff they don't want to hear about. Like, have you ever going to go buy something and you're like, you know, say you want to go buy a car and they're trying to show you stuff that you don't want to, and you're just like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to know that. What I asked is this, give me what I want. And that's what people want in life. So you want to communicate to people on what they're going to relate to. So pay attention. You don't have to understand. I'm going to go over this again because some of y'all are going to go, well, I got to learn these color things before I do anything. And I got to go research and go learn this and go learn that and go learn this. All right. Training. Do you know how to do this? Okay, you're trained. If you know how to do this and you can say, hey, do you drink coffee? And they say, yes. And you go, awesome. You got to try this and put it in their cup. Well, how does it work? Well, if you're right-handed, you hold it with your right hand. If you're left-handed, you might have to put the top on different, right? But it's the same thing, left-handed. Wow, that was hard. See, people overcomplicate this thing. It's simple. So here's some questions. Number 1. Okay. Naughty unmuter. Naughty. Oh my gosh. I might have to move this person if they keep. I don't want to call the person out, but hey guys, if you have an S at the beginning of your name, I want you to pay attention to if your phone could accidentally be getting unmuted 5 times in a row. your first name starts with an S, not going to call anybody out, but there's some naughty unmuters out there. And guys, also, you never want to make anybody feel bad or guilty or shame anybody for if they're not doing what you think they should be doing in the business. By the way, I just wanted to throw that out there because some people will have big expectations of what they think their team should be doing, and then they'll make people feel a certain way. And the most important thing you can learn in this business is how you make people feel. And if you can really do an effective job of making people feel important, then that is the biggest skill set that you can learn in this business. Of course, there's going to be one side saying, you'll hear me joke and say you don't need any training. And then you'll hear me do another call when I'm saying you need to sharpen your axe. You need to get better. You need to work on yourself and things like that. Now, can we all agree that if we learn communication skills and get better at that can help us in all aspects of our life? It does. But at the same time, you have every seed that you need right now, and you don't have to prepare or get ready or whatever. You have to get started. And what getting started looks like is this. If you are brand new and you're getting started, one, you want to get with the person that got you involved, and you want to ask them what type of post make the most sense to go post on Facebook. Now, it's not like, oh my gosh, I got a whatever, and put your link online and all that crap. Don't do that. What you want to do is you want to basically put a interest creating post. You might share, I've just been feeling so tired and whatever, blah, blah. And a friend shared with me, if I just change one thing in my life, what a difference it can make. And wow, I can't believe how great I feel. Now, you don't have to say exactly what I just said, but that's just an idea of what a interest post would be. Or you could take a picture of your cup and say, if you would have told me that just adding one thing to this cup would make me feel so great, I wouldn't have believed you. But oh my gosh, I can't believe what's happened. I mean, that's just off the top of my head something. My point is, if you've ever been dating and that person is too aggressive, wanting to get a little too fancy too quick, you don't have respect for them, and it normally doesn't last. I mean, that's about as real as I can get. Don't give the cookie on the first date, okay? So that means when you make a post, don't be giving all your cookies away, because then there's no more reason to date, right? You already gave the cookie up. So guys, you want to basically, you want to slowly give them the information, right? You want to slowly, basically, like if I'm even starting a conversation in Messenger, I'm not going boom, boom, boom and hitting them up with whatever. It all depends on where I'm going. Now, also don't beat around the bush and try to be friends with people fakely so I can approach them about the business. Like, I'm not going acting like, oh, how's the kids? And then like, join my business. Like, I'm going to maybe pay attention if I'm going to do it slowly through social media. I'm going to pay attention and I will create some whatever. But if it's a friend of mine, I haven't talked to him in a while, I'm going to hit him straight up like, hey, I know there's random. We haven't talked in a while. I'm working on a project. You might be able to help me out. Do you know anybody keeps an open mind when it comes to business? Right? If I'm going to approach from that perspective, hey, I know this is random. Haven't talked to you in a while, but I have to ask you, have you heard about the happy coffee everyone's been talking about? So those are a couple approaches. Now that is on the social media side of it, and get with the person that invited you or basically got you started. We have a lot of people that are phenomenal at teaching on exactly what to post on social media. In fact, we have a chat that anyone is welcome to get on. That is in the mornings. And if your team already has a chat, continue to get on the chat you're getting on. But just to know, there's an open chat for everyone. It's a coffee chat. What is that? Well, it's when you wake up in the morning and you have a cup of coffee and you do it with your friends on Zoom. And we talk about what's going on in the business and some tips and tricks. And there's all kinds of cool people that are on there that you can get to know. and basically that do some amazing trainings. I see Tony Garcia, she does them. I see Robin, she does them. I see Peter and Camilla, they're doing them. You have a bunch of different people, and I know there's that's just on my first screen, but there's, I see Jen and Bruce, they do them, so there's a whole group of people that get on these and they're giving value on these calls. And they're great to get on there, and you'll learn little tricks and tips on what to post on social media. So I'm not going to get into basically a whole bunch of stuff on what to do on social media. I'm not the best one to teach that because I'm not the most consistent one. Why might that be? It might be the fact that my personality is a little, might be. It's a little blue. And blues are not very organized sometimes, but that doesn't mean it's not something that I can work on. But it boils down to consistency. And you'll watch, there's a lot of people on here that might be better to watch the consistency of what they're doing on their stories and all that. And it's great to watch them. Again, rule number one is what? Be normal. So don't go copying people's posts if the post doesn't sound like you. Because then you're in Weirdville, which is against rule number one, which is be normal, right? So you want to copy things that make it look like you. Look, I tried when Melissa Lucas and Gabrielle and Carly and Hillary, and I'm watching all their posts, and they're all these pretty posts of all this stuff, and I go copy and paste, one of their posts. And they're talking about their kids and all this stuff. Like, people look at me like, what in the hell happened to my friend? What did you do with my friend? Bring him back. Where'd he go? Weird, right? So you want to be normal in your post. That's all we're going to talk about social media. Now let's go talk about the other side of prospecting and what we do. Oh my gosh, this one's going to freak people out. It's called picking up the phone. Remember when we used to actually call people? Like, wow, that was so cool. Like when you actually talk to somebody versus text. Wow, that was amazing. Boy, those days were great. Well, if you do that, you can grow your business pretty quick. There's people that that if you pick up the phone and you call them, they'll actually answer because they know who you are and they know. And then basically you can, if they don't answer, just say, hey, you text them. And you say, oh my gosh, I want to talk to you real quick. I have something important I want to show you. And then you just connect on them on the phone. And I'm going to give y'all a little phraseology that you can use that is guaranteed to work all the time. And it's simple. Now, this is for people that might be local. You call them up and you say, oh my gosh, I have something important I want to show you. You may or may not be interested. It'll take less than 15 minutes. I have something important I want to show you. You may or may not be interested. It'll only take 15 minutes. Hey, is it all right if I stop by for 15 minutes? I have something important I want to show you. And by the way, you may or may not be interested. It doesn't matter what way you say it. You say those three phrases. Now, what are you going to show them? You're going to show them how about pouring some stuff in their coffee, how they can be happier. That's all you're going to show them. You're literally going to go over there and you're going to go, oh my gosh, I got to show you something. And you're going to pull out a stick or your tub. And they're going to go, what is that? Oh my gosh, have you tried the happy coffee everyone's been talking about? No, what is that? Oh my gosh. Either go make a cup of coffee or get some hot water. You got to try this. And then you make them a cup of coffee. How many of us can do that? Oh my gosh, that's some complicated stuff right there. You got to know how to stir. Remember, right hand, left hand, complicated stuff. Guys, go make some coffee for people. I've done this more times than I can count, where I'm sitting down with people. In fact, yesterday I saw a girl at the hair salon when I got my hair did, right? And I happened to know her, and she came over here. She had just lost a couple people in her life, had passed away over the last year. And she basically, when she came to my house last time, she was in just a frazzled state, crying and all this stuff. And I literally gave her a Xanthamax, and I gave her a tea. And I literally watched her over the next 15 to 20 minutes go from crying and just not being able to cope to watching her demeanor change. And I'm sharing that because every single one of you can do this and not know or understand or be able to explain anything. But you can make a cup of coffee. You don't have to explain. Like, how many of you all have gone to the doctor and they said, you have ABC, take this? How many of us had that happen before? Where they give you a medication, an antibiotic, whatever. And do you go, what's in it? How does it work? What's the chemical breakdown of this medicine you just gave me? Like, do you do that, or you just go, oh, doctor told me to take it. No, take a pill, drink plenty of water. Like, they tell you that and you do it. And you don't sit there and, try to figure it out. Do you go to the restaurant and go, well, what exactly is in this? Now, unless you have an allergic reaction to certain things, I'm going to say 99% of the people are not going to go in and say, what's in the sauce, right? Like, you're not going to go basically explain, like, what are all the ingredients in the sauce? What are the ingredients in the pudding? You don't know, and you don't care. How does it taste? That's all you care about. So if you do that in your normal everyday life, and rule number one in our business is what? Be normal. Don't freaking be explaining nootropics or nootropics or however the hell you say it. Don't explain it. What's in it? Do you like to be happy? Yep. All kinds of good stuff that makes you happy. I have no idea, but what I do know is when I drink this stuff, I feel good. That's all you got to know. That's what you tell people. Well, how does it work? It works great. You drink it with your right hand or your left hand, depending on how you do it, and within 15 minutes, most people feel it. That's how you explain it. And you can do that in 15 minutes when you're talking to people. Facts tell, stories sell. So some people, some people are detail fact oriented. If they do that, you say, that's a great question. I have no freaking idea. Hold on a minute. Let me pull up the website and you can look on there. And then you just pull up the website and let them look at it. If you have 15 minutes, you're sitting at their house, pull up the website and let them look at it. I have allergies. That's what I used to say when my kids are bad. They have allergies. The kids are naughty. Oh, don't worry. They have allergies. I understand some people do have allergies. So you might have to ask if there's certain things in it. That's great. Don't be the scientist explaining what's in it. Pull up the website. Let them go look at the ingredients. So it's really that simple. My phone is blowing up. So be normal, share stories. That's if you're sitting down with people. Now let's pick up the phone and call people and just say, dude, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You know how I've been dealing with being tired or whatever. If these are your friends, like, the fastest way to get this bad boy started is make a list. Well, how do you make a list? Well, how many of us have these? How many of us have phone numbers in our phone? In fact, I'm going to say everybody does. Most people don't know anybody's phone numbers anymore anyway. So you have to go in here. Well, there's a list in here. And if you literally sit there and you write down the people's names, and so many people go, well, how many of y'all doing it? You go open your phone up and you go look in there and you're like, and you're predetermining who's going to do it and who's not going to do it. Well, this is how you make a list. You start off at A. Novel idea. You go into your phone, you start at A, and you write down Amy, Anna, and you go down the list and you write down the A's. And then you go to the next letter, which is B, and you write down all the B's and then the C's. You can do this 26 times. Oh my gosh, is that amazing or what? And you can get all kinds of names right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sort the list. Now, what are we going to sort the list by? We're not going to sort it by who's going to do it and who's not going to do it. What we're going to sort it by is if they have the money or not. So do they have the money to be able to afford a cup of coffee? Which should be yes. Then you might, and you put a star by their name. And then you go to the people of, who do I know that has great people skills? And you can maybe put a star by their name. Who do I know that is business minded? And you put a star by their name. And you might say, who do I know that likes to help people? And you put a star by their name. And then you go to the people with the most stars and you start with them. And you pick up the phone and you say, hey, do you have a second? And then you just basically say, I have a random question. Do you know anyone that drinks coffee? Now, this is a business approach. Now, if you want to get your business started fast, if you were starting a corporation, you'd want to go get you need to have a CPA. You need to have someone to run, a manager. You need someone, depending on what kind of business, you need certain people in the corporate roles. Well, we are starting a business. So it makes sense to talk to business people to start about a business. So you might want to go to those business-minded people and just say, hey, I'm working on a project. I need your help. Yeah, great. What do you need? Do you know anybody that drinks coffee? Question number one. Why do I say, do you know anybody that drinks coffee? Because you're guaranteed to get a yes. You're never going to ask somebody, do you know anyone that drinks coffee? And them say, no, I don't know anybody. Every once in a while, some idiot will say that. Because I have approached people. Sorry to call people idiots, but if you say that you don't know anybody that drinks coffee, you're lying. You're lying. Everybody knows people that drink coffee. So, question number two, you might say, hey, in these crazy times, you know anybody can use a little bit more happy in their life? Again, people are dealing with anxiety, depression, all these things more than ever in the history of the planet. And if you ask that, people are going to say everyone could. I could. Have you heard about the happy coffee that everyone's been talking about? Or have you tried the happy coffee that everyone's been talking about? And they're going to say no. And if they say yes, you go, oh my gosh, you're drinking it too? And then you wait to see what they're saying. If they say yes, most of the time they might be lying anyway. Because most people haven't heard of it, but everybody that has is talking about it. So you're telling the truth. Have you heard about the happy coffee everyone's talking about? Why do I say everyone? Two reasons. One, because some of you all, when we get started and we make 2 phone calls and they tell us no, we say, I've called everybody. I've called everybody. Everybody's not 2 people. It's just, well, specify everyone, please. Like, please clarify that. Because everyone is not your mom and your dad or your brother and your sister. Everyone is going through every single person in your phone. Then you could say, I've talked to everyone in my phone. I've called everyone on my list. And I'm sorry, but it's impossible to call everyone in your list and you not have some people that say they want to try the happy coffee or have some people that aren't open to looking at a business. I'm sorry, unless you go into Weirdville and you start trying to explain everything to everybody on the phone, you're not going to get it. So you're going to ask those questions. Why do I ask? Second reason why I say the happy coffee everyone's been talking about is because remember when you were in school and you felt people were talking about something and you didn't know about it? What did it make you want to know? You wanted to know what in the world they're talking about. What are y'all talking about? Everybody, you don't know? Everyone's talking about what? Right? So when you say that everyone's talking about it, subconsciously they immediately go, everyone's talking about it? Well, what is it exactly? I don't know about that. And now they're asking you for information. They're asking, which means you are now not being a weirdo trying to tell people about something that they're not interested in. They ask you information, and now you're giving it to them. So how do you give them the information? It's really simple. Oh my gosh, a friend of mine was telling me about this magical habit. Are people skeptical? People are skeptical in life. So I cover the skeptical, thing by me saying I was skeptical. And I do it like this. A friend of mine was talking about this happy coffee stuff, and it sounded too good to be true, hearing that coffee could do all these amazing things. But it had me curious, and I was like, I really need to try this stuff. And when I did, oh my gosh, I just been dealing with, I was going through the roughest time of my life. And when I tried this stuff for the first time in 2 years, it just kind of gave me like the, I don't give a darn attitude. Like I just felt better. I felt like me again for the first time in 2 years. And I really can't explain that, but I can tell you, I felt amazing. And what I knew is that if it did this for me, then I need to share it with other people. But I tell you what, there's a video that explains it way better than I can. You got to check this out. In fact, I'm going to add you to a Facebook group real quick. And if I know that person and I know that they're dealing with, either anxiety or depression, or they're dealing with having a lack of energy, or they might want to lose some weight or whatever, I'm going to go add them to a group, our team pages. If your team has a page, use that. If not, we have one that you can use as well. Get with the person that you work with and ask them what the team page is. I'm not going to say one out right now, but then you add them to the group. And in the group, there's a search button where you can search, and you can search for weight loss or energy or focus or whatever. And then you just put that person's name in a post that you resonate with, that you feel they'll resonate with based on their personality. So I'm going to tag them in a group, in a Facebook group. I'm going to share a sample with them, or I'm going to share a quick website. I might send them it right from my app and send them the video right from my app. Oh my gosh, you got to check this out. Boom, send it. And then I know when they watched it. I might ask the question, hey, if I send you a quick 3-minute video, when can you take a whole 3 minutes to take a look? Why do I say a whole 3 minutes? Because most people are going to go, well, I can take 3 minutes right now. Great, I'll call you back in 10 minutes. So we're using social proof to get them to ask us questions. We're going to share our experience, our story, which is step 2, ask questions, share story. Step 3, lead them into a group where they're going to see more stories. Because the goal is to not be a scientist. The goal is to have them come up with a natural, logical conclusion that if it worked for Tony, if it worked for Robin, if it worked for Kelly, if it worked for Jane, if it worked for Angela, if it worked for Pia, if it worked for Steve, it's possible it might work for me. So people just need to come up with that. So it's funny. A buddy of mine, I told this story before, but it's a great story, so I'm going to tell it again. And the story is, a buddy of mine, he hurt his leg. He ran over his own leg accidentally, like his car was in neutral or something, and it ran over his leg when he was getting out, and the car rolled back on his leg and totally tore up his leg. And they said he'll never be able to do all this stuff ever again, that his leg was destroyed. And he had all kinds of surgery, and then he started taking peptides or some stuff that I don't know anything about it. And he was trying to explain all the science behind all this stuff. And honestly, as he started talking about all the science and all this stuff and why it works and all that stuff, my eyes glazed over and I just went to sleep. And I was just like, what in the world is he talking about? But when he just told me about how he was told that his leg is never going to whatever, and he started taking these pills, and all of a sudden, things started to come back and get better and all that stuff, I was sitting there going, what's that stuff? I want to try that. That sounds awesome. Like, I want to try it based on him telling me what it did for him. But as soon as he started sharing all the science and stuff, like, my eyes glazed over and I was like, done. Like, I didn't want to hear any more about it, because a confused mind does nothing. And unless I really understood the science, then I don't know what he's talking about anyway. And I'm like, it's too confusing for me to figure out. So I don't know if that'll work for me. And then I'm going to be less likely to try it. But if you basically just say, oh my gosh, I took this pill. I couldn't walk. Now I can walk. It's crazy. Blah, blah. You're going to go, what in the hell's in the pill? Do you care? Like, really, do you care? No, you're like, dude, his leg was all messed up. He started taking this over time. It started healing. And they say that a lot of it had to do with the science behind these magical whatever. I'm not selling peptides. Don't even know what they are. But my point is, and there's a million of them that do a million different things. And that's why I was too confused, because one does one thing. I mean, it's crazy. You'd be taking a million of these things. But he did all the research, figured it out, whatever, and did it. My point being is you don't have to explain all that stuff. All you need to know is prior to, remember, your story needs to be this. Prior to taking this coffee, this capsule, this whatever, this is what you were dealing with. Since I've been taking it, this is what it did for me. So my brother, I've been doing this for 3 years now. And he calls me up the other day and he's like, dude, I'm just feeling so overwhelmed. I'm just so unhappy. And I don't know why. I'm making more money than I've ever made in my life. And I just feel so overwhelmed with all the work that I have. I should be blessed and just be happy that I have all this work. But I'm just, whatever. The dude's a workaholic. He's working on Saturday and Sunday and he doesn't need to. And all this stuff. And sitting there going, I'm like, dummy. And I'm going to call him dummy because he's my brother. And you know that I freaking have happy products. And you think I'm just saying it because, oh, I'm selling the stuff. But no. A friend of mine, Cheryl, prior to taking these products was on all kinds of medications and stuff because of anxiety and all that. There's story after story after story. So I add him into the group and tag him in a message. He hasn't listened to me in 2 years, 3 years. He hasn't listened to me. But I go put him in a Facebook group and put him in some messages that have stuff about anxiety and all this. And next thing you know, yesterday, he orders dose and the chill. Now my brain just unwind. And the thing is that facts tell, stories sell. And your friends, your family, you're going to tell them stuff about it over and over and over, and they're not going to listen to you because it's you. And you were toilet paper in people's houses with them. You were shooting the water balloon guns at them, and you probably drank too much in front of them, and they've seen you do some dumb stuff. And that's why they're not listening to you. So you got to add them into a Facebook group and let them see it from someone else other than you. And that's why step 3 is so important. And let the tools do the work. Don't be the tool. Don't be a tool. All right. Step 4. So now you're following up. Hey, did you try the coffee? Oh my gosh, can you see? Now remember these words, and I'm going to tell them to you, because if you know who Jim Rohn is, this guy worked with Jim Rohn. He taught me this, and he said, why do I use it? He said, because it works. So I started using it, and guess what? It works. So whenever I follow up, the first question out of my mouth is, can you see why I'm so excited? And if I'm with them, I'm shaking my head yes, like that. See that? See, body language is 58% of 55% of communication. My brain just went dead. 55% of communication is physiology. 38% of communication is tonality. Excitement is so important. If you're calling up your friends and family and saying, hey, John, have you heard of the happy coffee everyone's been hell no. Nobody wants to drink your coffee. You sound like you're on Valiums, not on happy coffee. You want to be excited. You want to be excited. People buy your energy. So basically you want to have excitement and you want to match and mirror that person that you're talking to in what we're doing. So step 4 is ask the question, can you see why I'm so excited? And they're going to say yes. And you're going to say, great. What did you like best? What had made the most sense? What stuck out? What resonated with you? However is normal language for you is what you're going to say. In other words, if you're the kind of person that would say, what resonated with you? Then that's what you say. What stuck out? What did you like best? What made the most sense? What got you excited? And then they tell you, and then no matter what they say, I say, me too. Because people like themselves, so I'm going to have a me too. I like the weight loss. Me too. How many of you all like the weight loss? How many of you all like the appetite suppression? How many of you all like it makes you happy? How many of you all like whatever? We all like all that stuff. So no matter what they say, I say, me too. That's what everybody says. And remember, everybody can be two people because you called two people. I called everybody. So two people said that, you're telling the truth, everybody, right? That's what everybody says. That's what most people say. So are there any questions you have before you're ready to be happy? Closing statement. Any questions you have before you're ready to be happy? Hey, random question. Mary, where you want to be happy and make extra money or just be happy? Where you want to be happy and make extra money or just be happy? And then now that you say, if you said, hey, do you have any questions before you're ready to be happy? Do you have any questions before you're ready to get started? Do you have any questions? And they say, yes. And so I'm going to teach you how to answer every single question you get. Are you ready? You ready for this? That's a great question. I don't know. But what I do know is, and then you go back to your story. What's in it? I have no freaking idea. You like to be happy, don't you? Yep, all kinds of good stuff that makes you happy. I have no idea what's in it, but what I do know is when I drink this stuff, I feel good. And then what you're going to do is you're going to say, but I tell you what, my friend Tony, oh my gosh, she's amazing. You got to hear her story. She knows way more about this than I do. I'm brand new. I'm just drinking this stuff because I feel good. But let me introduce you to her because she can answer that way better than I can. I don't know anything about the stuff. I just drink it because it makes me feel good. So the answer to every question is, I don't know. All I do know is I feel good. Right? And then you're going to basically say, but my friend does know. And you can say, look, your friends already know you're not a scientist. They already know you don't know anything. So just say, I don't know. What's in it? Coffee? Because honestly, that's the only thing I know that's in it. And then these herb thingies. So they say, what's in it? All kinds of natural herb thingies that make you happy. I don't really know what they are or how they work. I just know when I drink it, I feel good, right? That's how you answer it. You say, hey, but my friend Tony, my friend Mary, my friend Lori, my friend Ruth, they know. Hey, let me introduce you to them. You got to hear their story. And then step 4 is connect them to somebody else. Well, how does it work? I don't know. You drink it, you feel good. I don't know how it works. Hold on a minute. My friend Tony, she does. Let me get her on the phone. You got to hear her story. It's amazing. What's in it? I don't know. What I do know is when I drink this, how much does it cost? I don't know exactly. It's less than the cost of a cup of coffee at a gas station. That's all I do know. I'm not really sure all the details on the prices and stuff here. Let's go to the website. And I tell you, if you have any other questions here, let me introduce you to my friend. You got to hear their story. No matter what they tell me, I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is it makes me feel good and I connect them to somebody else. So why do we do that? Because can we agree, most of us are not qualified to join the NBA and play professional basketball. None of us are. But what if I told you all you had to do is get out on the court and do this? Boom. You can even double dribble without getting in trouble, right? You could double. Bloom, bloom, bloom. And then Michael Jordan runs by doing the Michael Jordan thing all fancy, you know, Air Jordan. And you just do this and you pass the ball to Michael Jordan and you let Michael Jordan slam dunk it and then you get paid. How many of us would join the NBA if Michael Jordan took every shot for us? Don't take the shots yourself. Let your Michael Jordan, let your teammate take the shots for you so you don't have to deal with rejection, objections, or any other stuff. You don't have to deal with it because you don't know. And you put them on the phone, somebody else, pass the ball, let them slam dunk it for you, and you get paid. So why? Because who can't do that? Everyone can do that. There's two reasons why people won't do the business. Number one, they're afraid that they can't do it. I have to learn too much. I don't have the time. Or number two, they think they're too cool to do it because you went in Weirdville and you were explaining too much and you acted like a weirdo, and they're too cool to act like a weirdo and they don't want to do what you did. That's just the bottom line. It's the only reasons why people won't do it. They're either too cool or they're afraid. Because why wouldn't you want to be happier? Why wouldn't you want whatever? Oh, you call, I'm not interested. Not interested in what? Being happy? That's the silliest thing I ever heard. What do you mean you're not interested? Well, I'm not interested in one of those thingies. One of these thingies, it's a cup of coffee, dude. It's a cup of tea. It's a lemonade. What are you talking about? So if they're not interested, it's because you're talking too much. It's that simple. Who would not want to at least try a cup of coffee, a lemonade, or a tea? Who wouldn't want to do that? And then if it gave them a benefit, who wouldn't want to share that with other people? So guys, it's really that simple. And some of y'all might have thought you're going to get on this call and hear something different, something new. No. I was talking to the Dillmans earlier, or one of the Dillmans. I was talking to Dave earlier, and we were talking about how, the longer we do this, how we start to get away from the fundamentals of what we do because we've told our story a million times, and then we get bored with our own story. But your story is your story. And you have to get excited about the fact that it did for you what it did. It doesn't matter if you told that story a million times. It's the same story. And that's the story that works because it's true. You don't have to create a new story. Stay excited about your story because I know it's kind of like that thing called marriage. We stay with the same person for a long time and we get bored and we're like, same old person I come home to every day. Remember when you were dating different people all the time? Oh, that was exciting. And then you come home to the same person. You're like, you again? Your story's the same thing. That's a joke, guys. But the bottom line is in your life, you have to spice it up and stay excited about the love of your life, or you're going to do something stupid. So you got to do the same thing in your business and stay excited. I got to go plug this bad boy in as I finish up. But guys, it's really that simple. You got to stay excited about why you got started in the beginning, why you were attracted to this, what it did for you, and share that with people. That's all we do is share that with people, and we run people through the 4 steps. So in closing, this is all you got to do. I don't care how much time you have. I don't care what you have going on in your life. We all have stuff that's going on in our life. We all do. One person every day. One person every day, run them through the system. And guys, if you do that consistently, imagine if you had 10 people that just did one person a day. That's 11 exposures a day. And then what if those people got 10 people to do one exposure a day? Do you see where I'm coming from? Next thing you know, you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of exposures going on every day that people are going out there and sharing their story of what the Happy Coffee did. But if you aren't talking to one person every single day, and then you go, my team doesn't do anything. And then you look in the mirror and you're like, what if you're the only person on your team? And you're just like, my team didn't do anything. Because you didn't do anything. One person a day, guys. One. And then teach other people how they can do that. And if you are full-time and you're doing this and that's, whatever, you can step those numbers up. But don't talk about, I'm exposing 20 people a day. Because then people are going to go, I don't have time to do that. But everybody can do 1, 2, 3. I mean, realistically, people could do 3 a day. But why am I saying 1? Because you might do that. Just one. One person, run them through the system. It might take you 3 people to get one to go all the way through the system in one day. So just make a small commitment for you to just do one. That's it. That being said, I just spent 58 minutes of goodness with you guys. I hope you guys got value. I hope, you actually take action in what we're talking about. And let's go out there and make sure that we're exposing a new person today and try to get them through the whole system. And let's go rock this thing out. Guys, you have so many great people in your support team. I'm seeing all these amazing people on this call. And every single one of you all are in the best position you could be in to go out there and create whatever it is that you want in your life. But it really boils down to taking action. Everything in life boils down to taking action. Everything that you're good at. And it's so funny. And as I said in closing, I'll say this, but I'm going to say this too, because I still got 1 minute left in this mode. So with that, basically I'm surfing and stuff like that. Like I'm wakeboarding and I'm surfing, and wakeboarding I love more than surfing because it's more, energetic. Like it's more just crazy flips and stuff. But I'm also not growing as much in wakeboarding because I've been doing this, the same stuff. So I'm trying to learn some new tricks and stuff, and it spices it up and it makes it a little bit more fun. But in surfing, I'm not as good. So I'm enjoying the process of getting better and learning. And my point with that is that I fall all the time, and it's aggravating, but you have to fall to get good. You have to do it. You're not going to get good surfing watching videos. Like you could watch personal development videos all day long. You could watch training videos all day long. You can get on Zooms. Ooh, that's great. But you're not going to get better at it unless you freaking do it. You got to do it. You got to. You got to do it. No, you really have to do it. You have to do it to get better. And it's funny, I'm watching, there's this girl, go look her up on whatever, Instagram, whatever, Ashley Kidd. She's a professional wake surfer. Unbelievable watching her. I'm like, so jealous. She's so good. I don't care if you like surfing or not, you watch her, you're going to be like, wow. But I'm just imagining how many times did she fall to get that good? How many times? Like you have to fall over and over and over and over and over and over. Oh, and it's aggravating. The boat has to turn around and come get you and all that stuff. It doesn't matter. You got to try things to get better. And it only comes from action. One a day, guys. Love you all. Everybody have a great day.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Chris. Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. Sorry about earlier.
No problem. Everybody have a great day.
Bye.